Welcome, everybody. This is
Hey,
Shared Chapters.
hey, with Emily.
And Sarah.
What is up?
Well, we're going to catch up on some bookish news. As you can see, Emily is weightlifting some Rebecca Yarros. Yee. She just released her title and the release date, right? It's like
Yes.
January 2025.
Yep, January 21st, I believe, of 2025.
Yeah. The title is
Onyx Storm.
Yeah. And so, as soon as I saw the title, I definitely did some Googling
Mm-hmm.
about what does it mean? And so that's a gemstone.
Yep.
It's a parallel banded gemstone. I have no idea what that means. But I've
Uh,
seen a picture of it.
do you know what Tiger's Eye is?
Yes.
Those are parallel rings, I believe, on
Okay.
Tiger's Eye.
Okay. So the colors range from like black, but the picture that I saw of one was like black with silver bands in it. So I
Mm.
was like, okay,
Mm.
silver hair.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also saw that in like a spiritual sense, those stones protect against nightmares.
Oh, they have a lot of them.
And that's like one of the things that is kind of talked about is like Violet's dreams and Zayden's
Zayden has
dreams.
dreams, yep.
So we see you, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
We know what you're doing.
I'm super excited. I have
Yeah.
already pre-ordered it.
Oh, you're kidding.
I
I
did
need to
on
do that
I
then.
did on Amazon. I actually got both the fancy copy with the sprayed edges and the other one because they don't charge you until they ship to you. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll have 40 bucks by
What?
by
Yeah, right.
January.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope.
That's awesome. I need to
Yes.
do that.
Yeah. I was like, and they're price locked to what you buy them
Nice.
at. So if
Yeah.
they are more, I'm like, nope, sorry, 23 bucks. I'll get them both.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what does the sprayed edges look like? Just like black or is
Well, we
there
don't, I think she said that there are
Oh,
stenciling. We don't have cover art yet, so I have no idea. But I think she said they're stenciled. So I'm sure it'll look almost kind of like the first, I think it was either Fourth Wing or Iron Flame that had the stenciled dragons on the side of them.
yeah. Okay.
Excited to see that.
And then we also, I'm sure some of you might have seen on Book Talk, we have
Oh.
a winner for our giveaway.
Yes, the book has already shipped to them.
Awesome.
It's gonna
Yep.
get there Saturday. So
Yep.
thanks to
So
everybody.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. Emily asked the winner if they wanted like a specific book or if they wanted to be a surprise. So they sent
Hmm.
us an Amazon wish list with a bunch of different titles on there, and we are surprising. So
Yep. On her wish list, it had a lot of books that we both enjoy. So it was kind of hard
yes.
to pick a surprise, but
Yeah, yeah, there were a lot of good ones on there.
yeah, it'll be a good one though. I'm excited for her
Yep.
to get it.
Yeah, same. For this episode, we're going to be talking about Iron Flame. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. The second book in the Empyrean series. Same
Yeet.
characters, different issues, but kind of the same, but a little bit
Uh,
different.
yeah. One of those issues is like, oh, I think a lot of more people have been kind of talking about Violet and Zayden's relationship struggles, where it's
It's not
like,
even a fucking struggle.
no,
they're just,
it's
they're
just
just
them.
annoying.
Yeah.
They're so annoying.
It's like I don't know. I think that I will say I really, really liked Iron Flame. I think I liked it more than Fourth Wing.
I agree.
I think there was a lot more like interesting, maybe possibly Easter eggs and
Mm-hmm.
like sort of background is a little bit getting more detailed and that sort
Yeah.
of thing. But the one struggle I had was every time Zayden and Violet had problems, it was like, you're hiding things from me.
Duh.
No, you're hiding things from
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Dude, he no one can tell anyone anything because you either got Dane on one hand reading your mind. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Hey, there's gonna be spoilers.
Hey, spoilers.
Dane reading your mind, so he's not gonna tell you anything.
What did you think about Dane in this rendition of him?
I think he's just a puppet, like I've said before. He's just a
Yeah.
puppet. He's annoying.
Did you
He
have like any moments of, oh, okay, like
no,
maybe he's not so bad? Yeah.
no. I think he's kind of I think he's kind of annoying. I think he's gonna be important.
Okay.
I would like to point out Dane means dead.
Oh shit,
So
really?
I think he's gonna die in the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Do
he
you
means.
know like what language that is or
I
just
think
like
it is Norse mythology. That's where I kind of get
nice?
that. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's
So
kind of cool.
yeah. And some of her stuff is well, a lot of it is Gaelic and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I'm like, no, it's kind of close.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dane means dead.
Interesting. Very
Hmm.
interesting. Yeah, I feel like you like read the book, right? And then when you're going back and kind of like trying to piece things together and analyze it, I always forget to look up the person's name because that
Yeah.
could totally like lead to Easter eggs or
Right.
like, the
Yeah.
author giving you a hint.
Hmm. Yeah, I need to do a reread, and I'm for sure gonna do a reread before January 21st when the third one comes
Hmm.
out. Just because, I mean, it's hyped up right now, but I'm sure before it comes out, it'll be crazy, and people will do a
Yeah.
lot of rereads, and I'm sure we'll miss a million things, and then it'll all come to light. But yeah, I've definitely in each book that I'm reading now, I'm like, what does that mean?
What does it
What does
mean?
that mean?
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
funny. Did you have a character that you like started to hate, or did you have a character where you were like immediately, I want you to die? Mine was Varish,
I was
clearly,
just gonna
like he
say
is the
that.
enemy.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say that. Yeah.
what a tool bag.
Yeah. Well, it was weird with Jack with that little arc he had in the begin or in the
Yeah,
middle or something like that when he helped her from not
yeah,
falling.
yeah,
And I was like, yeah, I don't trust that dude for anything. And then of
yeah.
course, it's you don't trust him.
Right, right.
Never
Yeah.
trust him
So just a reminder, Jack didn't actually die
in Fourth Wing. Yeah.
in Fourth Wing. He was like kind of resurrected.
It was
I don't
yeah.
really
I think
know.
he
They
just got
didn't
really hurt and then he got mended and
yeah, the mender was like working on it.
yeah. Well, I remember in Fourth Wing, I think Violet mentions that his eyes would change
Hmm.
and he just had a different look every single time. So I think that maybe he was already Venom.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's Venom now.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is your favorite?
My favorite character, I think I really like Jasenia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name.
I don't know either.
Jasenia. I really like her. I think she's gonna have like because of her like being in the scribes and kind of being a whistleblower and like working with Violet,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of figure out what the heck is going on. I think she's gonna play like a bigger role, meaning like maybe in this third book, you and I have talked about how this third book could really be I could see it going in two ways, or in one way, is like Violet kind of going out on her journey, her like self-discovery type of journey, like kind of solo.
Mm-hmm.
Xaden and cutting into like Xaden's story and like him, figuring more out and like more backstory happening with the Venom and the ancient dragons and what all that stuff was that we will talk about in a little bit. And also Jasenia, her story kind of veering off too, like three different stories, maybe like Violet, Xaden, and then her, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's going to play a really, really big role.
Yeah, I think she'll play a big role, especially because in the beginning of each of the books, she has had uh like the explanation that these are all transcribed from Jasenia.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the Onyx Storm like little teaser, it says he was her enemy, then her, I don't even remember what it was. It was like her
Hmm.
love, and now she must save a soul. So I think it's definitely, I think they're end game, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah, I do too.
the third book is totally going to be focused on, oh no, he's going to turn Venom and he's going to be having that fight within himself. And then
Yeah.
I think she, I think in all reality, she's the one who is going to save him, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
And I think that's what I mean by Violet going and maybe
Mm-hmm.
like trying to find a cure or, having that journey. And maybe like that occurs because Xaden like leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he runs away to
Yeah.
get away, or
Yeah.
maybe to find answers himself. Like I
Right.
could see that kind of being the storyline for the upcoming third book.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the third book's going to be, I don't even know if it, I don't even know if him being Venom will be resolved in the third book.
Yeah, I don't know either. I could
Because there's
see it
supposed to
not
be
be.
five.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know.
And I'm hoping some of the theories from Iron Flame either get at least hinted at in the third book or resolved. There is that, thing going around about Xaden's mom being Venom,
Yeah.
which I could totally see that. I know
Right.
I
Yeah.
think I said that in the our fourth wing episode, but I feel like that could explain a lot.
Yeah. I definitely think it's also weird that Jack Barlow says, looks like we're brothers now at the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, did she have another kid? Is he just saying that, like, oh, you're in the brotherhood type of
Yeah.
situation? I'm like,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah. It's kind of like who turned him Venom?
Yeah.
If he
Well,
was Venom in fourth wing.
they can be Venom. They take from the ground. You know what I mean? Like no one turned
Oh,
Zayden Venom.
yeah.
It's like you do it yourself, but you're kind of, Zayden was egged on by
Yeah.
the main Colonel Venom.
Yeah. Right, right.
So I don't know. I think maybe he was trying to save himself whenever Violet knocked him with that boulder and he pulled
Oh,
from the ground
yeah.
because he knew something was going to happen. Or,
Yeah, like he was on the verge of death, basically.
yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I hope we find
Interesting.
out. I hope we find out.
There is, I think a lot of people are possibly thinking that Violet's dad is also Venom.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we'll get more backstory with him. I'm really
I
interested
hope so.
because
Yeah.
he, in one of our highlights that we had, studied Feathertails, which
Yeah.
was that's a young baby dragon who's not yet like grown into their full adulthood. So that's what Andarna was at the beginning of Fourth Wing, and then kind of in the beginning of Iron Flame. You know, she just wasn't around.
Right. Yeah, that interaction happens in chapter 11.
Yeah,
Varish is like confronting Violet about her father, probably trying to just like get get under her skin.
right,
And he says your dad was writing about feather tails, and it's ironic that you ended up bonding with one.
right.
And Violet is asking Taryn if he knew anything about that
Mm-hmm.
research that her dad was doing, and he doesn't recall. It's very interesting to me that Anne Darna was quiet.
Yeah. And Darna makes me mad. I love her because she's like the greatest mystery. It's her and Violet, you know.
Yes, yeah.
But she's confusing.
Hmm.
She's a confusing one.
I really liked her sass.
Yeah, she's fun. Well, yeah, she's that like
Like
your
teenage.
first teenager, like,
Yeah.
don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. Right.
Don't talk to me. I do want to point out there's the excerpts at the top. There's a certain word for them. I don't remember. On page 60, 620, the last chapter, chapter 66, it says, we have tried every method we know of as you requested. There is no cure, there is only control. Missive from Lieutenant Colonel Nolan Colbsbury, Colbsbury to General Lilith Sorengale. I first thought that was about like something wrong with Violet
Okay.
as a baby. Now I'm kind of
Oh.
thinking, now I'm kind of thinking Lilith knew that Jack Barlow was Venom And so that's why
Okay.
Nolan was watching over him so often and going into like the chambers. You know what I mean? How he wasn't available
Yeah,
because he was
right.
mending this guy. So
Yeah.
I think they're just talking about Jack.
Okay.
Yeah,
And like
I
seeing because they haven't really been able to
experimented with it.
observe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first read that, I thought they were talking about Violet and Lilith having an issue when Violet was like a little kid. Granted, Nolan has always mended her, so
Right.
she could also be Venom. I don't know. Like I was second guessing myself, like, oh, maybe it's just about Jack because they finally had him in like the mending area of
Yeah.
Elspeth. So I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't really think about that.
me
I
either.
was thinking about Nolan and how often like he was mending Violet.
Right.
And for me, I think that was kind of like suspicious
Yeah,
because
for
if
sure.
he's been doing it since she was little,
Hmm.
I would be interested to know if like, how young somebody can be
Right.
to pull power
Yeah.
from the ground. I would be interested to know if that is how Violet has her streak in her hair. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's like silverish white hair.
Yeah. When I read that, I was like, oh, this could go like a couple different ways.
Hmm.
And
Right.
I don't know yet.
I did highlight one thing, and it's like randomly mentioned, and because of, me being a moss enthusiast, I was like, why is that like so why is that specifically highlighted?
Hmm.
In Iron Flame, we end up confirming that Justinia and Violet are both under the impression that the archives are like
Tampered with.
withholding
Yeah.
tampered with,
Yeah.
withholding information or like not including information or changing information. But one of the first instances that Justinia like went to Violet that was suspicious to me was when she needed help translating something for an assignment or I don't know, something like that. Violet translated it for her, and I'll read what it says. It's chapter 11 and it's page 150 on Kindle. I don't know if it's the physical 150.
97. Page
Okay.
97 in the book, chapter 11 still.
Okay. So in Kindle, chapter 11, page 150. So the transcription is spelling out the last word, the name of an ancient king who lived 1,000 years before Navarre existed. So I just thought it was really interesting that that line specifically was like ancient king.
Hmm.
So it just like kind of makes me feel like more backstory
Right.
is going to be it has to be there. Like it just was weird to me that that was specifically
Ancient
mentioned.
king. Yeah. And it's in italics.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say that. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're going to get like the gift of the first six.
Yeah.
That I think we'll get some more background info on that.
Well, so like you're talking about, the first six
Yeah.
in near like the end of Iron Flame, or maybe it's like middle to end, we find out that Andarna is the seventh breed.
She is the seventh breed, and she waited 650 years and hatched on Violet's 18th birthday because she knew she wanted to bond with the girl who was going to be a scribe, but the heart of a writer.
Yep.
That's crazy. Also, while she's sleeping, well, backtrack. That to me means Andarna knows so much more
Mm-hmm.
of what she is letting on.
Because she's overhearing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
She's
they were talking about Violet.
Yeah, the other dragons were talking about Violet,
Yeah.
the
And
colonel's
like
daughter.
she overheard that like while she was resting,
Right.
waiting to hatch.
And the Great War, whatever it was, happened 600 years before, like now.
Ye-
It's present
Right.
time of Iron Flame.
Right.
And something defeated all the Venom at one point, and then all of a sudden that thing's gone, and
Yeah,
now the Venom are
exactly.
back after Indarno hatches. Hmm. Hmm.
Exactly.
It's a little bit weird, but throughout Iron Flame, we don't get to even see or hear from Indarna for a long time. But
Mm-mm.
when we do, she has changed in her physical appearance.
Yes.
She once was a feather tail and now into a teenage scorpion tail
Mm-hmm.
from that previously unknown seventh breed. And she's capable of changing the color of her scales,
Yes.
kind of like a chameleon almost. And
Yep.
she's reflective of any surrounding color and shimmering black, which to me, I don't know, it's a little bit weird.
Little Hanky,
Little
do you want to
hanky.
tell folks about your possible discovery? This is
Yeah.
nothing concrete, everybody, but it
No,
is
I think it's flawed.
really, it's weird though.
The
To
parallels
me,
are
it's
weird.
like very weird.
Yeah. So last time while I was preparing for our fourth wing discussion, I was reading through, those little top beginning of chapter sections because I feel like those really like sprinkle in certain
Yeah.
things. And in fourth wing, chapter 37, the beginning is, but it was the third brother who commanded the sky to surrender its greatest power, who finally vanquished his jealous sibling at a great and terrible price. The origin, the fables of the Baron. I had a mind boggling moment of a Filipino folktale epic
Mm-hmm.
poem called the Adarna bird, not Andarna, but Adarna, Adarna bird, about a king, which that to me, there's an ancient king
Ancient King.
mentioned who falls sick and has nightmares. And he has three sons, aka the three brothers. Three.
That was six.
which I said fourth wing mentions three brothers. And
In that tale, that
in that
is
tale.
like that fable story that Violet has from her father.
Oh, is that what that comes from?
Yeah. So
The
like that's that little like
Oh, I didn't know
book of
that.
stories
Oh, that's what that's kind of weird.
that her father gave her.
Okay, that's I was wondering. I was like, I thought it was just like a history book. Anyway,
Mm-mm.
the three sons, he tells them that they're to look for this elusive bird because it can either turn someone into stone, make them fall asleep, or heal them. And the king who's falling sick is the one who's telling his three sons that. And this bird is described as really colorful and iridescent feathers, which is kind of like a phoenix. And a phoenix is a symbol of resurrection, which is a theory that people have of Violet's second signet. However, here's another crazy like parallel. The bird sings seven melodies, like the seven breeds of the dragons.
Weird.
It sings seven melodies, and on the seventh one, it either turns you to stone, heals you, makes you fall asleep, whatever. And yeah, and Darna, she's the seventh. She's the seventh one. So
I don't know,
I don't know. I think it's
guys.
kind of far fetched, and the only reason I found it is because I spelled Endarna wrong. But I was like,
But
oh, that's so weird.
it's weird that all of those
Yeah.
similarities are matching up with some of the story
Right.
points,
Right.
right? So like if for some reason Rebecca knew about that legend, right? Or
Well,
like
it's a very, very popular epic tale that in Filipino countries they study it as just like we study like
okay.
Lord of the Flies. Everyone knows like the
Yeah.
Tale of Two Cities. Everyone knows Lord of the Flies. This is
Yeah.
their Lord of the Flies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Or yeah, it's like they're like Beowulf or
Right.
like
Exactly.
whatever. Interesting. Okay. So, okay, so maybe it isn't far-fetched
I
then,
don't
you
know. I
know?
really don't know.
If she is well versed and well traveled, it's totally possible that she would have been like, "Oh, that's such an interesting story." And then when
Right.
she wanted to like begin writing, or maybe,
Right.
have
Fantasy.
always,
Yeah.
yeah, write
Yeah.
fantasy, have always had this idea in her head. I think it's I just think it's weird. I think it's weird that Andarna is
It's one
close
letter
to
off.
Adarna.
Yeah.
One letter, guys.
Yeah.
One freaking letter. I think it's weird that there's seven songs
Mm-hmm.
because there's seven breeds.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's weird that there's three brothers
And the third
because of
brother who is the one who finds the bird and brings them all, which it says, but it was the third brother who commanded the sky to surrender its greatest power, which he's the one who in the Adarna bird it's the third brother who is finally able to find the bird and bring it home
Hmm.
to his father.
Yeah. I just think those
I think it's kind of
parallels,
weird.
it's very interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know if, because the Adarna bird is like a phoenix, and that's a lot of crosses that people. It's kind of the same thing to a lot of people. I don't
Yeah,
know if that's meaning second signet, like resurrection, or
that's my
heal.
vote. I totally can see.
I I think the resurrection, it's a little bit weird because Andarna means the ghost or the spirit. And who do we see in Fourth Wing? Or no, who do we see in Iron Flame? Mr. Liam.
Liam.
Not that he's going to come back, but I think
No,
it's weird
but
that she can. I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird. And maybe it's not resurrection. I feel like she has said that it's not resurrection, but maybe Rebecca hasn't. I don't really remember.
well, okay. Yeah, you might be right. It
I don't think she
like
can bring
Liam,
back
yeah.
people that are dead like that. Like she's not gonna be able to bring back Liam or her dad if he's dead.
Yeah. If he's dead.
I don't know. I don't.
Very. It is very, a lot of people were so heartbroken that he was gone.
Yeah.
But then his spirit or what have you
Right.
pops up with her. So what does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of Harry Potter a
Yeah.
little bit when he has the stone, the
Mm-hmm.
resurrection stone, basically. And that's a tale of three brothers as well. The Horcruxes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Forgot
So
about
he
that.
has the resurrection stone. He in one point, I can't remember if it's the last movie. It's whenever all of his loved ones come together and
Oh
help
yeah, at
save
the end. Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. At the end. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that when
Yeah.
they all talk to him.
Yeah.
They're like in the Forbidden Forest or whatever.
Yeah. So that's what that interaction with Liam like reminded me of,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well,
So
Violet also has a saying that she always says, "I will not die today," and that to me is kind of like she can't.
maybe.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think she either can heal people. I mean, Brennan is a mender and he heals people.
Right.
And that kind of brings me to my point of Brennan.
Okay.
There are some theories, and I don't remember who came up with it or figured it out, but he was trying to be saved by resurrection.
Yes.
Naolan tried to resurrect Brennan,
Yeah.
but he burnt out because he couldn't do it or
Yeah.
whatever. Now, and that was Tiernan rider. Tannen's
Yes.
rider.
Yeah.
Slagle doesn't like him at
Right.
all. I remember there was like she growled at him and something like that. And so obviously Sagal would have been there, right? I would
Yeah.
assume so, maybe. And I just think there was something weird with how Brennan was saved.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah.
There's more there. And he doesn't talk about it. Like
No.
none of
They
them.
never talk about it ever.
Nope.
And I'm
No.
like,
And
that's
Violet is
probably a
like,
pretty big deal.
how did it happen? And everyone's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I would like to say that Brennan's dragon, Marb, I think that's how you say it, means, you want to guess what Marb means?
Okay. If we're talking about like resurrection and ghosty stuff, I don't know.
It means corpse or dead person. Isn't that weird?
Hmm.
Brennan, like I'm assuming that we'll get
That has to get
for sure.
explained.
For sure.
Whether it be like flashbacks or they actually have a sit down,
Yeah.
talk about it. But if Sagal was there,
I don't know if she was. I can't remember if they said that, but
I would imagine if Taryn was there, that she would be. You know what I mean?
yeah, or maybe he told her about it. I don't know, but they
Yeah.
also have kept secrets from each other.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know.
Yeah, because spoiler. I mean, this whole thing has been spoilers, so shut up, everybody. Um, we also find out Zayden's second signet.
My scalp prickles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was totally foreshadowing in Fourth Wing, and that makes me
Annoyed.
not question. No, it makes me not question
Oh,
that there are a lot of Easter eggs, and I'm like, that means something.
yes.
That for sure
Yeah.
means something. I noticed
Yeah.
that in Fourth Wing for
Yeah.
sure when he would walk into a room, and she's like, my scalp prickles, and I'm like, but why?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
his dragon Sagel was his grandfather's. So that does make
Hmm.
she probably was there.
Yeah,
So yeah, Sagel's been around the block, and that's her second bond with a relative.
yeah,
So obviously there was second signet. Durr.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Anything else you highlighted
I'm
from?
winded.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't think you're crazy. I think as
I,
soon as you like said that stuff, I was like, what? Yeah, of
yeah.
course. Like that all makes so much sense to me.
I mean, it could totally be,
Anadarna, Adarna, like please.
yeah.
Rebecca, you ain't sly.
Also, so I guess in Scottish Gaelic, marb means kill or murder, but
Mm,
in Old Irish, it means corpse or dead person.
yeah. So
So,
like
like, it's just,
in general.
yeah, it ultimately, the from the root, mare is to die or dead. So,
Okay.
I think, do I think that he's a corpse, like a dead person that was actually resurrected?
Oh,
I don't know. Because that's what
okay.
Nyolan tried to do, was resurrect Brennan because he was
Right.
too dead, but he's not.
And do we know like they say that Naolin like dies,
He
right?
died because he was burnt out
Yeah.
from trying
But
to
are we
save Brennan.
sure that he died?
I don't know, because it said if you,
Because if you're
well, where's he
pulling
at?
from the ground at your last moments, you're pulling power from the ground.
Well, we don't know if he pulled it. I don't think he pulled it from the ground.
Well, I'm saying if he
If he,
like in his
yeah,
last moments, if he became Venom,
right.
breached that power, basically.
So Professor Kaori says in chapter 8 of Fourth Wing, sometimes it's hard for a writer with a signet that powerful to accept his limits. After all, bonding makes you a writer, but resurrecting someone from the dead, now that makes you a god.
Right.
So maybe it says he's deceased, obviously, and his signet was siphoning. And I'm like, where were you
Interesting.
siphoning from? How
Yeah.
are you
Whose
trying to
power?
resurrect Brennan? You're not even
Yeah.
like a mender. I don't know.
Weird.
I think it's super
Hmm.
weird, and I kind of don't trust Brennan at
Yeah.
all.
I don't know. Do you have any betrayal theories? In Fourth Wing, I talked about Rhiannon betraying, but
I
do you have
know.
any?
I'll have to reread if I think like Rhiannon would.
Hmm.
I'm on Empyrean Wiki, by the way.
Hey guys, you guys are the best. Empyrean
Empyrean.
Wiki.
I know there's a bunch of places that have writers with their name meanings and their dragons name meanings. Like there's lists
Nice.
online that I've seen. But
You guys are the real ones.
so Fearge in Scottish Gaelic is of anger.
Hmm.
And so I don't really know if that's necessarily meaning that
Like
she'll
if
do
it means a
anything.
negative connotation.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's kind of weird because Rhiannon and Violet went to visit her family because they were so close too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting.
So what did you think of Lilith sacrificing herself at the Wardstone?
I didn't like care.
When
I
she
know that
died, I
sounds
was like,
awful.
whoa.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I mean, I don't know. I didn't hate her, right? Like I think in the first book you were kind of supposed to be like, oh, she's awful,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But I think I liked her strength. I think she definitely knew way more than she let on,
Yeah.
right? But when she was decided to sacrifice herself, it wasn't a high emotion
Yeah.
chapter for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't really have any feelings. Kind of like when Liam died. I just wasn't really
That got
attached.
spoiled for me, so I just kind of, no, it didn't. I just didn't really care.
Sorry, Liam.
Sorry.
You're back as a ghost anyway. Screw it.
Yeah. He'll come back. No,
Um,
I'm just kidding.
and it's interesting because now, like with what you brought up about Liam, I'm wondering if Lilith's spirit or, however that will be portrayed
Yeah.
comes back at all.
Well, she never sees her
Especially,
dad, so
yeah,
maybe he's not coming.
exactly. As
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just gonna say, like, especially if this third book is, Violet going off to like find Zayden or find a cure
Mm-hmm.
or whatever the heck. If she has that solo journey, like I could absolutely see her seeing her mom during that journey, kind of
Yeah.
like a spirit guide or I don't know, something like that. Because Liam was guiding her basically. I mean, she was like stuck in that room, but he
Mm-hmm.
was guiding in a, I'm here, just get through it,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it didn't really, yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't attached. I don't honestly know if I'm attached to anyone. I think I'm more attached to the dragons than I am the people.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like Violet and Zayden, obviously. Like I like
Yeah,
them,
right.
but I don't have I think I would be like, oh, Taryn or
Yeah,
Andarna
that would
or
tear me up.
I don't know. What did you think about the Griffin Riders? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I really liked that they brought in something other than dragons,
Yeah.
kind of a different, I don't know, just brought in different characters in that way. I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that those riders were in the end were all a team and like
Mm-hmm.
trying to, I don't know, save the greater good and
Yep.
working together to figure shit out. I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was really great. What did you think about Kat?
I didn't obviously I didn't like her.
Yeah,
She is just trying to do what she has to do.
yeah,
Granted, she was a little bit, they were both sassy to each other, but they're like 19 years old, so
yeah, yeah. They're
it's gonna happen.
catty
Yeah,
in that way.
for sure.
I thought it was really interesting that she was given Rebecca wrote her as a person who can manipulate emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah,
I think what I am liking about it is like I'm learning, seeing the different ways that people like have their power and signets and
yeah,
that sort of thing, which is fun.
yeah. They said, I can't remember which professor said it, but they said during like a war meeting or something like that, don't underestimate Griffin Riders.
Yeah.
Like they might not have still have magic. They might
Yeah,
not have your
exactly.
magic, but they still have magic.
Yeah.
So,
To manipulate emotions, I think that's like a big freaking deal.
yeah,
So I hope she becomes, I mean, at the end, Violet and her were getting along and like kind of having each other's backs,
yeah,
which I
yeah.
appreciated. Like I'm glad that it didn't end up being
My
I hate
boyfriend. Yeah.
you. Just like continued hate
No, I
throughout
don't
the
think
rest of
it'll,
the
yeah,
series.
I don't think it'll be a problem at all
Yeah.
anymore. I think it was just like a, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
and Zayden's like, I don't like her.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I did, but
But not even
not
really. Like
anymore.
they were
Yeah.
just using each other.
Well, yeah, it was like, it was just kind of set up. So,
Yeah, exactly.
um, I'm looking up what Sorengale means.
Okay. What does Sorengale mean?
I would like to say Liam means strong warrior or protector, which that's what he did, was
Yep.
protect Violet. Okay, so Sorengale. Soren is derived from Thor, who
Okay.
is, and Soren means god of war in Scandinavian.
Very cool. Have you
Oh,
seen the God theory?
no.
So there's something going around where people are thinking Violet and Xaden are like not reincarnations, but gods.
I would believe it. And Rhiannon is described as looking like Amara, Queen of the Gods.
Hmm.
So I don't know. They could very
There's
well
like a lot of
all
God being thrown around.
right. I definitely think all of the dragons' names kind of correlate with signets. Sagal, Shadow,
Yeah.
Terran, and Thunder, which was Naolin's. Oh no, he was a siphon. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, Aimseer, which was Lilith, was climate or weather, which is what she
Hmm.
did.
Right.
So, and Darna meaning like the ghost or the spirit.
Yeah. I find that to
She
be
might, yeah,
hinky.
I think she might be able to talk to the dead or something with the dead.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of like dead or like death,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
whether that be in people's name meaning
mm-hmm.
or
Yeah,
that kind of stuff in general.
I just think names are a big thing. I hope, and especially like with Onyx Storm, well, with Iron Flame, the word stone was they had to be like engulfed by all the flames of each of the breeds of the dragons.
Yeah.
So like iron flame, it's made of iron. What is
Yeah.
iron? Deflect magic.
Right. Hello.
Yeah. So onyx storm, onyx being like a black stone.
Blackstone deals with dreams. They're
Yeah.
having dreams. I
I don't
feel like
know.
that's interesting.
Yeah. I feel like the third book isn't, I don't think we're going to get a lot of resolution, honestly.
No, and I hope we don't. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want stuff to be resolved and then all of a sudden we have to go, another bad guy pops up. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want that.
Yeah.
I want there to be more backstory. I want there to be more character development.
Right.
That's definitely what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I just think I don't think it's going to be a filler book by any means. And she's
Yeah,
still writing it. It's not like it's completed. She's
right.
still actively writing it. People think Iron Flame was a lot of world building. I
Think
fully
so.
disagree with that. I think there
Yeah.
was more action than anything
Yeah.
and kind of explanations in really weird instances. But
Yeah. I think more Easter eggs were dropped for sure.
yeah,
What did you rate Iron Flame on Goodreads?
I believe I gave Iron Flame a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I did too,
yeah.
which
I
was better than Fourth Wing,
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Fourth Wing. Obviously, like I like it now. I think
yeah,
more that I've gotten acquainted
like
with the
into it.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I first read Fourth Wing, I was like, I texted you. I was like, this is ass.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like, I mean, people were like jaws on the ground, like, oh my God, this is crazy. And it definitely pulled me out of my reading slump
Yeah.
that I had. But I've definitely read similar, not similar storylines, but like similar books that made me feel a similar way.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel groundbreaking, not to
Hmm.
be, no offense,
No,
but
no,
it just
I
doesn't.
liked it, but I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, now what?
What's next? Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I
So
definitely liked
I'm
Iron Flame more.
I'm definitely interested to see what Rebecca does with the third, and I hope to be flabbergasted.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling that it's going to be let's pull this up. Fourth Wing, Enemies, Iron Flame, Lovers, third book, Strangers.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know you anymore.
Yeah, it's just that book is a lot.
Yeah.
That was the first time a book or a book series put me in like I had issues after that. And that's why I like bookstagram and book talk and Pinterest and YouTube, because I see like the funny memes and
Mm-hmm.
the aesthetic edits and the songs that people like read them to. I think that makes me like so much more
More,
involved.
yeah.
I think that's why I was like, oh, my
Yeah, my
heart.
chest,
Yeah.
my chest.
Did you freak out by the ending of Iron Flame when Xaden looked up at her? Did you freak out? Or were you like, oh,
No, I definitely, I mean, I felt something big coming,
yeah.
whether that was Violet who had
Hmm.
turned Venom, like someone was going to, right? Like someone was
Yeah.
just like gonna. So like when they were doing that scene of him and her and like her realizing that he had been turned or he turned, that did not come out of nowhere for
Right.
me.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like Fourth Wing. Hey, sis. Like
yeah,
we,
that kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't
yeah,
expecting that at
the
all.
last pages of I guess that's her zone is the last page. Last
Mm-hmm.
lines pretty much is when you're gonna get like,
Smacked.
oh shit, yeah,
Yeah, I think when Xaden goes and like speaks with Jack Barlow was like, oh, shit's about to get
yeah.
real.
I think it's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm excited though for
yeah,
January. That'll be
for
super
sure.
fun. That'll be like a year from when I finished both of them
Yeah,
the first time.
yep, yep.
So I'm excited. I hope it's just as long as Iron Flame. I kind of have a feeling it's going to be longer.
I hope so. Bring
No,
on them 800 pages,
no,
baby.
I can't right now.
I can't. Well, you won't. You'll have a year
I
to
guess.
prepare.
I suppose.
Okay. Do you have anything anything new on your like to be read shelves? Did you get any new stuff from NetGalley or Goodreads?
Yeah, so right now I am reading The Lost Legend by Saret. I don't know if that's how you'd say her name, Franco. I don't remember when it comes out, but I will definitely post about it close to the release date. I like it so far. If it's definitely like I'm getting Percy Jackson vibes from it. But
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Is it like the Greek stuff or just
Yeah, I think they mention Apollo in the beginning of it, but it's
okay?
about Soli, which means sun.
Mm-hmm.
And so like names kind of mean stuff with that. So
Cool,
yeah, I'm
cool.
excited about it. I think it'll be I'm only a little bit through it, but I'm kind of like, where's this going?"
Ooh, nice.
And
Cool.
I'm also going to be reading A Burden of Ice and Bone by Kyra Whitten.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yep. Those are my most recent arcs. I have a long list, but those are the ones that are next on my list that are
Yeah,
coming out pretty soon. So,
very cool.
yep.
I'm super pumped because I got accepted for
I saw that.
The Curse of Sins, which is by Kate Dramis or Dramas, sorry, Kate. And The Curse of Sins is book 2 of The Curse of Saints.
Hmm.
I was so blown away by how well Curse of Saints was written. Like it no offense to those who like Yaros, but I was like, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
It was so good. And I was so looking forward to when her second book was going to come out. So I got accepted for the arc. Awesome.
that's fun.
And it comes out this June, actually. So, like, pretty fast. So, that's really exciting. I'm really excited to read that. I thought the first one was awesome. So, and definitely like a cliffhanger at the end. So,
That's on my to be read shelf. So,
so on Threads, for those of you who are on book Threads, which is really fun, I had asked if there were new authors out there to drop their book titles in the comments because I just wanted to see, what was being written and who was new and that sort of thing.
mhm.
And I got a ton of replies, like 80 replies, which is
Oh,
really
cool.
cool. Some of the titles that stood out to me, I'm gonna read them, and who they're by. So I don't think any of these are arcs. I think they're all out or they're going to be out. So some of the top ones were Threads of Amends by May Dorsch. Now, if I say your name wrong, my bad, dude. My bad.
People get your name so wrong.
Yeah. Hiding Places by EJ Post. The Witch Bottle by Kate Alvarez.
Ooh,
Load Bearing by Jane Hartsock. Hurricane Ryan by Katie Summers. Fables of Hope and Light by this one I'm really going to butcher. Havilah McClat. Written in the Cards by Dana Storino. And Willow by Loon J. Kent. So,
fancy.
yeah, those are all some new ones out there for anybody who's interested in new.
Love that.
So, how are you doing with your Goodreads progress for your challenge?
Oh, let me pull that up.
Yeah, I am 13 books behind.
I
What's yeah.
It's
Oh,
okay.
and I'm currently reading Gold, which is book
You're still
5.
on that?
Yeah. I
Come
mean,
on.
listen, I've had a busy
You
couple
have.
weeks. I have been absent, as you guys know. I'm still on it. I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow, which is book 5 of the Plated Prisoners series by Raven Kennedy. The one thing that really bothers me, and it's nothing against the author, it's nothing against people who don't mind it, but the term of endearment baby is not for me. I am not into it.
Yeah.
So as soon as that happened, I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
So that's my one gripe, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, not everybody feels that way. So
I have read 15 out of 50 books.
yay.
I think it said I'm like 3 books ahead.
Nice. Awesome.
I changed it to 75 and then it was like, you're 2 books behind schedule. And I was like, oh,
So
I
you
can't do this.
flipped it
I
back.
changed it back. I changed it back. I was like, that's a lot of pressure. I can't. I
That's
think I'll make
hilarious.
it to 50. And if I make it, then I'll like bump it up. But
Yeah.
So the last book I finished was Bound by Dragons.
Shout out to who's the author, because
Alicia Colpeak.
I
Colpeak.
think she
She
commented on
did.
our Instagram. So
She
thanks,
did.
Alicia.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Hit the
I liked it.
points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is quick. I read it in one sit down. I think it took me like 2 hours or so. It's only like 140 pages, so it's not like
Yep.
it's. I was like, I need a refresher from Sarah J. Maas,
Yeah. A
and just kind of
break.
clear my palate from the ever never ending storyline. That's where we're at.
That is where we're at, folks. Next episode will probably be,
I would assume probably Air of Fire.
yeah.
I gotta finish. I gotta start that. I'm too.
Yep.
I just got. I broke my heart today. I broke my own heart today. Yep.
Tell us about your heartbreak.
I was flipping through TikTok.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was so. I like didn't read the caption, and a lot of people put like the word spoiler in the caption, and sometimes I
Yeah.
don't read the caption. I was like, when the King of the Darlin, and then it flipped to like the Darth Vader, like them sparring. I don't even know. It's a trend. Flip to the next photo, and it said something, and I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to spoil other people. But I was like, and it's in. Is it Queen of Shadows? What is it called?
Oh, gotcha.
Kingdom of Shadows.
Queen. It'll be Queen of Kingdom
Queen.
of Ash is the very, very last
That's what I'm
book.
talking about. It was
Oh,
Kingdom of Ash, and I was like,
yeah.
no.
Dang. Okay. You'll have
I
to
was
tell me
like,
what it is after we.
yeah. I was like, uh.
Bummer, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Okay, Akatar, I've been spoiled. Like I pretty much know
It's hard
everything
not
that
to.
happens. Yeah,
Everybody talks about
it's so
that.
popular. But
I
I'm
feel like a
waiting.
lot of people right now are getting into Throne of Glass.
Well, that's like every single like a lot of the people that I'm friends with on TikTok, they have read Akatar and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going back to Throne of Glass," and I'm like, "Good luck."
Yeah, right.
Good luck. I think I'm going to be reading an Akatar book after Air of Fire, actually.
Nice. Because you're going to
So,
do it by
publish date.
publication date.
Yep.
Nice.
So,
I think that's so smart.
yeah, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll see some parallels or be able to pick stuff out. But,
Very cool.
yep. All right. That's it. So, follow us on Instagram at Shared Chapters, TikTok at Shared Chapters, Threads at Shared Chapters, YouTube at Shared Chapters. Find us on Etsy at Shared Chapters. We just made a page on there. And on TikTok,
Yeah.
we now have 1,000 followers plus followers. So I'm able to add a link tree on there if you just want to click on that to
Woo.
find all the other links. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Yep.
Thanks,
If
Mom.
you're, yeah. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Grandma. Thanks, friends. You know who you are.
Yep.
Hearts.
Love. Peace and love.
Love.
Bye.
Bye.